We're going to begin this morning with the invocation and with our focus, which will be toward the one. For those of you who don't know it, this is the expanded version of the invocation, and welcome to everyone here now and later who are listening to this. Toward the one. Who are we going to when we go to the one? Oh, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty. And who are we? The
only being, a verb, not a noun,
united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the message, the mystery, the miracle, I left out the Mother, the Spirit of guidance. Let's try it one more time. Toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the message, the mystery, the miracle, the Mother, the Spirit of guidance. And let me bring up our card for today. The Nine of Coins. For those of you who have been following along in these kind of a little bit more difficult cards, the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Wands, this one is lovely. We finally get to enjoy, rest in this abundance. There's a little bit of a sense of celebrating our success in this card. So it's everything that we've finally come to, of like, wow, we did this. So we've gone, you could say, toward the one. So it's not just, you could say, the coins represent physical manifestation in this world, a very specific, more that which is seeable on the physical level. But physical manifestation, as we know, such as the beauty that's created from that, creates a very deep resonance in our heart. So as we go toward the one, toward our own purpose, we will unfold all these different pieces in our life of love, harmony, and beauty, if we're really moving towards that. And then it allows us to be able to give back. So she's receiving it in her dress and really taking in all the successes, all the abundance. And when one receives that, when one can really take that in, it's natural that it just radiates out as light to be given to others. And you can see in this card, it's so much about the light. Even the coins are filled with light.
Yeah, this card reminds me of a saying of our teacher Radha's. One of them was, "Until I learn to recognize the joy in my life, no amount of joy will satisfy me. Nothing in this world will satisfy me." But we could also say, "Until I learn to recognize the abundance of my life, no amount of abundance will satisfy me." So it's like we all right now pretty much have food, probably those of us gathered here and those who are going to come in at different points in space and time have food, clothing, and shelter, a certain amount of abundance. So it's really important to recognize, right now we're probably in a warm place, we're probably not hungry unless we haven't had whatever our next meal is yet. they're really just recognizing and taking in the abundance inside and outside that surrounds us all the time that we take for granted. The last thing I'll say is, forget something I was reading. Someone was asking, they were looking at how much we need, and someone was interviewing Rockefeller, the big oil guy in the 20s and 30s, and he had billions of dollars, perhaps the wealthiest person on the planet. And they said, how much more do you need? And he said, a bit more. So he couldn't really ever be satisfied with what he had or take in what he has. It was always needing more, whether it's money or power or glory or fame, and not recognizing the abundance that we have.
Yes.
So that's a really important piece in order to give it back out again.
And there's just the abundance of someone there with the palm tree and the palms coming down.
And really, it's like that sense of, sometimes it's the tending of that palm tree, or the tending of your space, of whatever it is that you've really needed. So in other words, if you have food in your refrigerator right now, that it didn't magically come there. There's that way in which you have been manifesting and taking care of yourself and doing the things you need to do to create that love, harmony.
And that was all the prep work in the other cards.
That's right. So that 9 is kind of like it's coming to the end, right? It's like there's coming to the end of a full cycle of 10. And so in the 9, it's like it's also giving thanks and recognition of all the things that you have done to get to this point, to be able to have this abundance. So we're going to start with a very easy breath, just that earth breath, breathing in and out through the nose. And if you're comfortable, you can stand up with it, just because it helps you to be a little bit more embodied. If not, you can stay seated. But you're really letting yourself breathe in. Right now, you can close your eyes, and I want you to bring in, as you're breathing in that breath, some of the beauty you've created, whether it's in your house, whether it's outside in your yard, plantings you've done. I want you to just really remember, in your mind's eye, remembering these pieces of beauty that you've made. Maybe it's about building a website or something that you've created that you associate with your computer, or that maybe it's photography that you've been working at diligently. I think of my son and his diligence with creating his flower pictures, the beauty he's done. So just think of whatever it is for you on the outside world that you've created. At least come up with one piece that you really can recognize that this is where you've put a lot of your energy, is just breathing it in and then letting it resonate in your whole body on that exhale. It's like you're taking it in, just like she was with her skirt and her dress. Breathing in what's there, that beauty, that love, harmony, and beauty that you've gone toward the one. And then really breathing in toward the one on the inhale, and then holding it for the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty. And then as we give back out into our whole body, the only being. So those are the words we're just going to use today to remember, to remind ourselves. All of this activity has been toward the one, in recognition of going toward love, harmony, and beauty, holding that, and then breathing back out, the only being. So we're really taking it in on that holding. Letting that rhythm come, a few more breaths like that. Breathing in toward the one, holding that perfection of love, harmony, and beauty. Exhaling, the only being. breathing in that beauty or that love that you've created, that harmony. One more breath like this. And now we're going to begin to do this, but we're going to do it within our own bodies. Is also recognizing that we're going to fill up our bodies with this wonderful toward the one energy that we've brought around love, harmony, and beauty. And we're going to start with really filling up our head and our scalp, our brain, and we can touch our head as we're doing this and really imagine that we're just like the dress, like we have this open chakra maybe at the top of our head that is letting in all this beauty that we've created, all this loving attention that we've brought towards something. Breathing it in, holding for a moment, and letting go. Letting go deeper into our brain, into our skull, our hairs. Really taking that in, taking it in our face, our eyes, our mouths, our nose, our ears. Letting our whole face, bringing it in, making room on that inhale, holding it and letting go, letting it just permeate into all the cells. Let our whole head begin to just move gently with this awareness of pulling the energy in, holding it, and letting it permeate deeply. We can hum with it on the exhale. Letting that energy come all the way down into our throats, into our windpipe, and our also the pipe that goes down into our stomachs. Breathing it in, all of this juice from our love, harmony, and beauty going toward the one. Letting it really radiate and letting yourself really move it so it can make room to let in all of it. Gently, you can turn it around your neck. You can stretch it a little bit so that it really comes in. All that abundance. And bringing it into the shoulders. As you're ready, letting them move front and back and all around. Feeling them really expand and contract all at the same time to let in this energy. They're holding on to this abundance, but they're also expanding to let it in. Toward the one. Letting in this wonderful shoulders that take on so much responsibility, letting them feel the abundance of so much that's happened. And there's nothing for them to do right now except for to take it in. You can hold them, pat them, really let those shoulders expand wide and then come deep inside with more and more room for this abundance. And breathing in the abundance in your arms. Imagine your whole arms, your elbows, your upper arms, your lower arms, just taking this in. Taking in all the beauty, all of the loving energy you've put into creating, you've put into making harmony. And letting it really come in deep, deep, deep into the cells of your arms, your shoulders. It's like washing down them. And letting it come all the way down into your wrists and your palms and your outside of your hands and your fingers, even your fingernails. Let it all in. Permeating deep, deep, deep. You can help stretch them out. You can use one hand to help pull out your fingers a little bit. Then letting your whole shoulders, arms, hands, neck, head really reach and bringing in all that abundance. As you breathe in, holding it and letting it permeate. Like the deepest, like a worm permeating the soil of your body, going deep, deep, deep in so you can feel everything. Like the gold coins coming in, the gold that you are, it's dropping down into you. We'll do this one more time with the shoulders, arms, hands, neck, and head. Breathing it all in. Letting the coins drop down further into the upper chest now. Upper chest and heart area, the upper back. Really letting that in, all of the accomplishments that you've done towards love, harmony, beauty. Remember what that beauty is, holding it out there, breathing it in. Letting it drop like gold coins down through your upper chest. Coming all the way down now into your solar plexus, all the way to your belly button. Letting the coins drop, those beautiful gold pieces, into the solar plexus. Going toward the one again. The perfection of love, harmony, and beauty. Only being. Letting it drop now all the way down into your hips, your coccyx, your genitals, your the deep pelvic floor muscles, this whole area, letting yourself move it to open, to be open to receiving. And then letting the gold coins drop into this pelvic region, your hara. One more time in this area, breathing in the abundance, holding it, and the only being. Letting the gold coins drop. So now letting the gold coins drop through your head and your neck and your shoulders and your arms and your hands and your upper body, and your torso all the way down to your hips with each breath. Making accommodation for these coins, for this gold, this remembrance of who we are inside. One more time. Coming down into your thighs and your knees, letting them move a little to accommodate this abundance of love, harmony, and beauty. Letting the gold coins drop with every exhale. Breathing in that abundance on the inhale. Letting it go all the way down now into your calves and your shins and your ankles and your foot, your toes, the tops and bottoms of your feet, all the way down, taking it all in. The abundance. You can walk with your feet to just really feel them. This lower part of my body has so much connection to all the beauty of creation in the garden. So just let really yourself breathe in now throughout your whole body, especially focusing on the parts of your body that has helped you create this beauty. Breathing, taking it all in, holding it, and letting go again into the deepest, deepest cells with this gold. It all in. You might even want to let yourself kind of squeeze your whole body a little bit, taking it all in, holding that squeeze for a moment, and then just letting everything relax. Taking it in through the whole body, letting it squeeze. Squeeze with abundance. And letting it all relax when you're ready. We'll do that a couple more times. Just really letting that abundance in. Now we're going to take in that abundance and we're going to let it out We're going to open our eyes and give it out to all the people in the Zoomiverse first. So we're taking that abundance we've received and we've given, and we're going to give it out. Give out that light. And now imagine we're giving it out to all the areas all around where we live. Make sure you're all filled up with everything you've done. Before you do that. Start to give it out even farther away from where you live to the world. But really bringing in that abundance, that joy, that love, that radiance that you've created. And one more time. Now, closing your eyes if they're not already closed and bringing that abundance into your whole body again. All the things you've created. Holding it for a moment and then breathing back to all of the selves inside, that love and that light. Energizing all of the parts of yourself, knowing that some had to step aside for you to do that, some had to really step up to help you, the ways in which you could focus to create these things. Bringing that energy in again and focusing it back inside towards all the cells. We went into all the cells of our body. Now we're going to the cells, all the parts of us. Ending up with our hands on our hearts, if you're comfortable with that, and just finding a place to sit.
We continue to gather, letting the breath flow in and out of your heart. Imagine your chest is soft and porous. And each breath, you're bringing the abundance of prana, of oxygen, of chi into your heart and letting it suffuse your whole body. And with each exhalation, you're releasing, letting go, giving thanks. So breathing in the abundance of the breath and life energy, prana. And breathing out, releasing, letting go, anything no longer needed, and especially letting go of gratitude, just letting that flow out. Breathing in life energy, breathing out gratitude in and out of your heart. You can just do that silently. You continue to hum or sound on the exhalation if that supports you, and really feeling the fullness of your experience, the abundance of your physical body and all the care that you give to your physical body. And as you continue your breath of abundance, just allowing yourself to really open to your heart and your heart center more and more into the sacred space of your heart. The abundance that you've created through your inner work, through your focus, through your attention, through your breath, is really open to the sacred space of your heart today. Whatever manner it comes, whether it's a way you've met before, from a dream or childhood, or just whether you see or feel or sense or smell or taste the sacred space of your heart. And you continue to deepen into the abundance of your heart, and just let these words just resonate in the background. We invoke the one whose body is the cosmos of the galaxies and our own bodies, whose mind courses through our thinking, and whose ecstasy arises our acts of glorification, whose personality is customized as our personalities, whose presence is always here, whose consciousness is focalized as our consciousness, and whose reality is beyond our mind's reach. So just feeling the abundance of infinity, of this field of light, of love, of ishq, that there's an abundance with each inhalation and exhalation, that we're swimming in the abundance of essence of our true nature of the universe. And any parts that are worried or busy or distract us away from the abundance, just asking them to step aside. Nothing to do or nowhere to go right now, but just to open to our outer and inner abundance. Sometimes we create the abundance on the outer world or in our inner world, and then we don't stop to open our skirt, to hold, to let the coins, to let us appreciate. We work so hard, but right now that's that time when we're opening and appreciating the abundance of whatever sensations, feelings, energies in our bodies, feeling the abundance that you've created in your outer world and in your inner world, just opening, gathering that in right now. And as you continue to do this, using my words as a guide, you can move faster or slower depending on your guidance, with all love and all respect, opening to the abundance of High Self, this inner guide, in whatever shape or form High Self comes today, whether it's a feeling of presence, of open, tingling light or spaciousness, or whether High Self comes as an animal ally. Think of High Self as your inner ally, your beloved. Or whether High Self comes as a wise being, sphere of radiant light, this deep inner gold, the inner abundance of your relationship with the cosmos, with infinity, through and supported by High Self. Just taking a few moments as you breathe in to feel the abundance of this larger dimension of your being, and breathing back thankfulness and gratitude. Each breath, gathering the coin of the blessings of High Self, of the baraka, the energy, whatever form it comes, just breathing in the blessing each time like one of these coins, gathering, recognizing, feeling, experiencing the blessings of High Self. Perhaps that blessing is just pleasurable feelings, this bliss body, this astral body, our energy body, is breathing that in, breathing in the presence of High Self, gathering these blessings. And there's that I am a hidden treasure waiting to be known. You're this hidden treasure with all these jewels of abundance inside. The abundance of your inner family, of all the inner selves, the abundance of High Self, the abundance of the sacred space of your heart. And as you continue to gather this abundance, just asking when you're ready, beloved High Self, how can I open to more gathering to recognize the abundance in my outer and inner lives? And as I gather that and am full with that, how can I then give and offer back outer and inner abundance? And you can continue with High Self if you wish. Otherwise, just really opening to those selves who are able to rest and relax and open to the abundance. Really welcome them in, thanking them for being able to drink the fullness of your inner and outer lives. But just welcoming all the selves in who know how to slow down, to be, to receive, to listen, and who know how to give back. Just welcoming all those selves, open to anything from them, any comments, any knowing, any understanding, or just their presence. As you gather them, you can just open and remember perhaps times of abundance right now, and other times drinking in the fullness of the abundance of your life. And you can continue to do that if you wish, or you could invite the ones who have a hard time, who it wasn't safe to take in the abundance. Perhaps they'd be punished or scolded or sent away, or they had to work so hard there wasn't any time and space to breathe in, to recognize, to appreciate the fullness, the richness, and the simple fullness and richness of things we take for granted in our lives. Having warmth, food, shelter, the abundance of our inner lives, the blessings we feel at times. But whatever it is, we invite in these ones that have a difficult time accepting, allowing abundance. And we know they had their reasons. Perhaps they had to protect from acknowledging the abundance that was dangerous, or perhaps they just had to move so fast. Whatever, gathering them, knowing that they have riches and things to share too. These are some protective selves on some level. They're just making a space to be with them, to bring them love, to just open to them their stories and what their purpose was, what they were trying to do, how they were trying to help in their own way. Taking a few moments to just listen and hold these parts with love, with respect, with curiosity and compassion. And just let them know and spend time coming to visit them, getting to know them better over time. But is there anything you can do to support and help them today? And as you're ready, inviting all the selves to enter into the breath of unity with you and High Self. Invite them all to breathe together, rich full inhalations, bringing this breath of gnosis, of understanding, of listening, of receiving. Breathing in life energy to all the selves. And breathing out, release, letting go of anything ready to be let go of. But just letting all the selves breathe in harmony. This is a way to create inner harmony by inviting all the selves to breathe together with you and with High Self. Recognizing the abundance of the richness of your inner family, your inner ecosystem of selves. Each with its own function and purpose at the right space in the right time. And the greater music when all these illuminated selves come together and sing together with a intention or focus, especially of love, harmony, beauty. And as we're ready, we can make 2 bows, one to our inner life with the sacred sound Hu, then coming up to the outer life with the sacred sound Hu, and holding both our inner and outer lives, all the inner and outer selves that we encounter. taking a moment to really reflect on your soul work journey this morning, today. And you can do that internally, or write something if you wish. And take a moment and then stretching when you're ready. Yeah.